In the dynamic world of finance, a few individuals have become well-known names because of their exceptional skill in the investment realm. Investing might seem overwhelming, but it doesn't need to be. There are various investment approaches available, and the right one for you will depend on your personal situation and goals. These financial experts haven't just built up impressive wealth, but they've also developed distinct strategies that have influenced how we think about and engage in investing. In this video, we're going to explore 5 iconic investors and their investment tactics. All of these investors have achieved significant success in the markets, and their strategies can offer valuable lessons on how to make intelligent investment choices. Number 1. Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is definitely one of the greatest investors in history. He's got his own unique way of doing things when it comes to investing. He's all about playing the long game and focusing on companies that he thinks are undervalued and run by skilled managers. He's become really famous for this style. His net worth is more than $118 billion. He's the big boss as both chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, a big company with lots of different businesses under its umbrella like Gecko, Dairy Queen, and Fruit of the Loom. Buffett's main investing idea is to buy really amazing companies at a fair price. To make this happen, he does a ton of research and learns everything he can about the companies he's interested in. He's all about businesses that have strong advantages, like a well-known brand or a loyal customer base. Plus, he wants companies with great leaders and a history of making money. Instead of trying to time the market, like some people do, Buffett believes in hanging on to investments for a long time. He thinks the smartest way to do well in the stock market is to buy strong companies and keep them for a while. He also believes in spreading out his investments in different areas to lower the risk. That's called diversification. Buffett's investing way has worked super well for him, so it's a good idea for others to learn from him. If you want to be like Warren Buffett, make sure to do thorough research, only invest in companies you really understand, and be patient. That's the recipe he's used for success. Number 2. Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger is a big shot in the business world. He's known as a top investor and a business magnate. He's the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, a big company led by his longtime friend and business partner, Warren Buffett. Munger is famous for his investing ideas, which are all about value investing and practical smarts. Munger's way of investing is all about finding really well-managed companies that have a strong edge over their competition. He likes to buy companies when their stock is priced lower than what he thinks they're really worth. He's not into trying to time the market. He believes in holding on to investments for a long time. According to him, the best way to make money from the stock market is to invest in great companies and keep holding on to them for a while. His net worth is more than $2 billion. He owns shares in a bunch of different companies, like Berkshire Hathaway, Coca-Cola, and Wells Fargo. He's also part of the boards of some other companies, like the Daily Journal Corporation and Costco Wholesale Corporation. And remember how I said he's into diversification? That's just a fancy word for putting your money in different places to be safer. He also likes the margin of safety idea, which means he looks for companies that are cheaper than he thinks they're really worth. He's not willing to pay full price. Another thing Munger does is stick to what he knows. He only invests in industries he understands really well, and he says that making smart decisions is super important. And guess what? He's all about common sense too. Munger thinks having good old common sense is super important for doing well in investing. He looks for companies that have capable and principled leaders, people who know what they're doing. All these strategies have worked pretty darn well for Munger. Number 3. Bill Ackman. Bill Ackman is a big shot in the financial world. He's known as a legendary investor, and he's the CEO of Pershing Square Capital Management. He's made a name for himself with his activist investment strategy. What he does is he buys a lot of shares in big public companies and then pushes for big changes that he thinks will make those companies more valuable for shareholders. Bill Ackman, net worth is more than $3.5 billion. He's got investments in some well-known companies like Valiant Pharmaceuticals, Chipotle Mexican Grill, and Starbucks. His way of investing is built on some important ideas. First off, he does a ton of research before he invests. He wants to really understand the companies he's putting money into, so he looks at their financial statements, reads reports from experts, and keeps up with the latest news. He's all about putting his money in areas he knows well, and he stays away from stuff he doesn't understand. A big part of his strategy is buying stocks that he thinks are worth more than what they're selling for, based on how well the company is doing and how much it could grow. Unlike some people who try to guess the best time to invest, Ackman believes in being patient and steady. He knows that the best results come from sticking with investments for the long haul. All these ideas have made Bill Ackman super successful, and he's seen as one of the best investors of his time. Number 4. Cathie Wood. Cathie Wood is a big deal in the investment world, known for being all about disruptive innovation. She's the founder, CEO, and CIO of ARK Invest, a company that manages different types of investment funds. Her whole game plan is about finding companies that are leading the way in new technologies that are going to change the world. What Cathie Wood believes is that these groundbreaking innovations are the key to growing your money over a long time. She puts her money into companies that are working on super advanced technologies that could totally change industries. Some of the companies she's invested in include big names like Tesla, Zoom, and Roku. Cathie Wood is a total pro at investing, and it shows in her success. Her investment funds have consistently done better than the regular market benchmarks, and she's net worth around $250 million. She's got some really important ideas that shape how she invests. She's all about how disruptive innovation is super important and shapes the path for long-term growth. She's not into trying to guess the perfect time to invest. She thinks the best way to make money is to buy good companies and hold on to them for a long time. And she's big on spreading out her investments in different areas to lower the risk. Cathie Wood's investing style has caused a lot of talk, but there's no denying her smart strategies and success. Her track record and the money she's made for her investors really prove that her way of investing works. As time goes on, we'll see just how successful her approach continues to be, and that'll show just how brilliant she is as an investor. Number 5. Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is a big-time investor and a pro hedge fund manager. He's the brain behind Bridgewater Associates, which happens to be the biggest hedge fund on the planet. His way of investing is all about diversification and spreading investments across different things that don't all act the same way. This has made him super famous. He's worth a whopping $20 billion, and his money smarts have led him to create a bunch of different companies, like Bridgewater Associates, Pure Alpha Capital Management, and Bridgewater Associates U. Ray Dalio's investing plan is built on some important ideas. One of the big ones is diversification. He thinks it's crucial to put your money in lots of different things like stocks, bonds, commodities, and currencies. This helps lower the risk. He's also all about picking things that don't move together. So if one thing drops, the others might not. It's like a cushion for possible losses. Dalio's got a special strategy called risk parity that's all about finding a balance between different types of investments. He wants to keep a certain level of risk while still aiming for good returns. He's used this strategy, and it's worked well for him and his investors. But remember, there's no surefire way to succeed in investing. It's important to do your homework, understand the risks, and be careful before you make any big investment moves. So we've talked about 5 different investors, each with their own unique ways of investing. However, they all have some common principles that they share. These principles include things like doing thorough research, focusing on long-term investments, and making sure your portfolio is diverse. If you're new to investing, it's essential to know that there's no one-size-fits-all approach. The best way to figure out the right investment strategy for you is by doing your homework and learning as much as possible. I hope this video has helped you grasp investment strategies better and how to kickstart your investment journey. Just keep in mind that investing is more of a marathon than a sprint. So, take your time, do your research, and make wise investment choices.